Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. Today we're looking at the Caturday deck. It's a new deck from Unbroken Bonds, and obviously it's kind of meme territory, not all that competitive. But this is going to be kicking off a week of me playing rogue decks, so do comment down below if you want to see your favorite rogue. Throughout this next week, I'm going to be testing out some of the more experimental stuff that there is out there right now. And today we're going to kick off with the Cats and see where the week takes us. At the end of the week, I will be talking about the NAIC and giving my top 10 decks for that tournament. So who knows, maybe one of these meme decks impresses me by the end of this week, and one of them could squeak onto that top 10 list. But today, we're looking at the very low energy attack cost deck. In fact, trying to get free attacks in throughout the entire game, thanks to the Gathering of Cats ability on Persian, saying that our Pokemon with the Caturday attack can ignore their attack cost. So we have Glameow, which can do 60 damage snipe. The Espurr is pretty much like the all-star of the deck, trying to use Ear Kinesis to like double up on snipe damage. So we're trying to do little pokes here and there with our Shrine, with our Spell Tag, with our Latios and our Glameow, and then use the Espurr to take full advantage of that by having ×2 for the snipe, essentially, is what it kind of reads. It does 20 for each damage counter on that Pokemon in a snipe. And when that's a free attack, that's actually pretty strong. So think about a Tapu Lele. If we just use Glameow, hit it for 60, then we can come in with an Espurr and finish it off with an Ear Kinesis, so because it will double. So you can see some cute math starting to line up, especially with tag teams. If we're using spell tags and we're using this early pressure from Meowstic, Glameow, and Latios, we're hoping that this pressure can help you get one-shots. Well, not one-shots, but set up damage for the likes of like Pikarom and Reshizard and stuff. So 80 damage to knock out a Pikarom with this Espurr, and for a Reshizard, it's a little bit more. It's the 90, right? 90 plus 180? Yeah. So you need 90 on a Reshizard to knock them out. So hopefully the Shrine, the Spell Tag, maybe even a Koga's Trap in here, can help push that damage counter range so that an Espurr can finish them off. So it's getting cute with maths the entire time, so it's a lot of fun to play this deck, and that's pretty much the whole concept here. So in terms of the card decisions, I'll just go over it very, very briefly. As mentioned, the Persian he's like the engine. He's the thing that lets us attack for free. Glameow does a 60 damage snipe. The Espurr, as mentioned, doubles that damage when there's already stuff in play. Meowstic does 70, and it forces the opponent's weakness to Psychic. So sure, maybe you can take advantage of that. It's very rare that you will, but basically this is another thing that can just poke for free. And like I said, 70 damage with like a spell tag on top is like actually perfect numbers to set up this Espurr. Latios with that breakthrough, doing 30/30s and hopefully spell tag and shrine and stuff can help push things. Mew protects us against Pikarom, but also has Psy Power for extra sniping potential. Ditto can evolve into either of our two stage 1s. Guru to help us out against like Let Loose and just to fill up our hand size. Basically, this has a very similar engine to Weezing. Like, you should just be playing Weezing realistically, but Persian is much more fun, right? So we're trying this engine. So we're trying to max out like Ball Search for Ultras and Nests. Double Con to help out search out Persian for turn 2 is pretty much ideal. Meowth's on 1. The Pokégears to help us get draw supporters and pick out our tech supporters. 3 stretchers because Espurr is very, very fragile, as is Glameow, and these are all things we need to recycle throughout the game. 3 Shrine, obviously integral for increasing our damage output. Wondrous Labyrinth, obviously we get around it thanks to our own ability, but it can slow down a Pokemon like here and there sometimes if we're up against specific decks, maybe like Zapdos and whatnot, that are like 1 attachment type decks, Zoroark, stuff like that. Force of Stadium removal. We have the double Guzma for trying to catch things off that we've damaged previously or something like that. It can be really nice. Obviously, we don't need too many of these because we're spread-based the entire time. The double Koga's Trap's an interesting one, just trying to slow down the opponent again, similar to the Wondrous Labyrinth. Just confusing and poisoning the opponent, forcing them to have like Guzmas themselves or retreat out at some times. That can help us, and at the same time, poison just ticking over damage is also beneficial. Lillie and Cynthia self-explanatory, spell tag as well self-explanatory, and the 4 DC helps us retreat around our guys so we don't get stuck, but also can help us attack with Latios, which is the main reason why it's in here. So, oh, and Mew of course. So yeah, in terms of like other additions to the deck, the only non-Caturday card in my deck Or sorry, the only Caturday card that isn't in my deck is the Litten. It does 60 and the opponent can't retreat. I think the Meowstic does a slightly better job than the Litten overall. And yeah, that's the main reason why we're not playing it. But again, if you want to do like Koga's Trap, Litten, like trapping, it could be pretty interesting. But yeah, let's jump into the ladder. I don't expect much from this deck. As mentioned, it is meme territory and we're just having fun. So don't expect to do great things from this deck, but it's like a budget version of Weezing, I guess. Or like a more aggressive version of Weezing is probably the better way to put it. If you don't like sitting there with Weezing the entire time, ticking over Detention Gas turn by turn and then ticking over Shrine turn by turn, IRL, it actually gets quite frustrating and takes a lot of time, but with Caturday, you're just sort of targeting your snipes much more, which does mean in turn we're a lot weaker to things like Acerola, Max Potion, all that sort of stuff that is being played here and there. For some reason, the ladder's not working. Please, let's try and get into another game. So yeah, it's like a more aggressive build of Weezing, basically. I feel like Weezing is overall the stronger archetype, but this has a more clear goal set in mind. It's much more easy to pick your prizes throughout the game with the Caturday deck, because you're literally setting up damage counters to then Espurr. That's pretty much the way it goes. So let's try and get into a game, and hopefully it actually loads up this time. I think they were doing maintenance at some time today, so I'm a little worried that we might get cut off, but looks like we're in this game this time, which is awesome. Getting to go first, always good when you're a stage 1 deck. We are going to show our opponent what we are. Oh no, the secret's out. We're gathering cats today, boys and girls. I wonder if my cat's going to make an appearance. She's sleeping over there right now. I'll try and catch her at some point. If I say the word cat enough, maybe she'll prick her ears up and actually come over. Going first, I think we'll send up the Latios. Yeah, we don't have to play this. Reasonable hand. We have a Lillie. We have, you know, like 4 draws off of it. See a Miltank, which means we're probably up against Reshizard. I'm going to put this down. We have guaranteed means of getting Meowth, thanks to this Ultra Ball top deck, which is nice. We draw to another Persian. We do play 3 Stretcher, so I'm just going to bin both of these. And then instantly look for our Stretchers. Yes, it's here. We can go ahead and grab good old Meowth. Now, as mentioned earlier, we do not like facing Healy boys, and Moo Malt is a Healy boy, so that's a bit of a concern for us. We do not like heals, because, I mean, Weezing also hates heals, right? But Weezing is trying to get damage like all over the shop, but Glameow's like, I'll snipe that and then we'll Espurr it for finishing it off. We are much more targeted spread. So that's the worry here. Our opponent's going to Ultra Ball out a Jirachi to kick things off. And then they're going to Guzma up Glameow, which I don't mind too much. They're going to get Stellar Wish. Actually does us a favour. It means if they do put down a tag team, it's much easier for us to get some damage on them immediately. They're going to go Nest Ball. Sometimes they do play like Reshiram or Baby Volk if they want to get a non-GX target out. Yeah, they're going to go Growlithe here. And they're just going to pass. Of course, Glameow can only target GXs and EXs, but still. We will Lillie just for the 3 cards here. We may end up just having to use Caturday to draw a card and go to sleep, which is a little unfortunate. I feel like I want to get the Oranguru down. If the Pokégear fails us, I really need this Oranguru down. Okay. We'll just Caturday to draw a card. That's the minor benefit of this deck. You get to, at the very least, try and Caturday your way out of bad hands. That's the mini engine that we have for ourselves. What a treat. Oh, my cat has arrived. I've said the word cat enough for it to be A cat day for her. Hello, cat. You're the mascot of today. Trying to win with you. My favourite little cat. Our opponent's going to go ahead and Stellar Wish for a Guzma here. They have themselves a Nest Ball. They're going to grab another Jirachi. See a skateboard. Going into the next Jirachi, so they're digging. They're missing out on supporter by the looks of things right now. Stellar Wish number 2 grabs them Ultra Ball. This can get them into Dedenne or Lele if they really are desperate. Could also get them a Arcanine if they have to. Then a Crystal back 2 Fires. They actually have the Welder. So Welder into Ultra Ball for Arcanine seems pretty good. They could start using Grand Flame, which would be frustrating. It's actually just going to choose to pass instead. It comes over to us. We draw Koga's Trap. Start things off with a gear, which does end up failing. And another gear, which also ends up failing, which is real bad. That's real bad. Okay. I'll tentatively put this in to draw 1. Spell tag is helpful. Let's just draw a card. Well, that's all of our stadiums then. All 4 stadiums in the top 21 cards of our deck. They are eventually going to go ahead and grab themselves Arcanine. Now, non-GXs are a pain for us, seeing as though we don't have any like good output. Our best output is a 70. So when you face non-GX stuff, it's about trying to use this spell tag in a stealthy way, or just snipe around them. So we're going to try and make life awkward for our opponent here. With some Perplexing Eyes, some Spell Tag Shenanigans, some Koga's Trap, all this sort of stuff. They also need to find their way into a 4th energy here, or a stadium, because we've put the lab into play. Our opponent's going to continue to Guzma. They're actually going to take out the Persian here, which looks very, very, very scary. They're going to use the Dedenne. They still have a Stellar Wish if they need to get a Fiery Flint. Possibly. Or a Stadium. Either works. Yep, they grab Stadium. And now we are in all sorts of bother. Only 1 Persian down. So we're not going to be able to use any Caturday attacks for free no more. We have to go into the Latios, try and like Shrine Koga's instruct our way out of this bad hand. Okay. Ah, DC helps. Whoops. It's got to go here. It's got to go here. Koga's. Obviously, Jirachi decks are the ones that play the most switches, so they can get around it relatively comfortably. Let's go ahead and get our next Meowth. And we're going to go ahead and use Breakthrough here. Put the 30 on the Dedenne, because we really want that thing to be one of our easy prizes for later. It's going to board the next Jirachi. So far, 3 Guzmas and 1 switch gone. There's another switch. Zard normally plays 4 switch, so it's pretty inevitable. We wanted to play the Kogas just to help us draw. But we whiffed a lot of Pokégears there, which is a bit of a feels bad. Opponent's going to Acrobike. Here's a Reshizard. And a Fire Flint. We definitely enjoy seeing a Reshizard come down. 90 damage plus a... what's it called? Ear Kinesis is what we're trying to get on him. So our prize map is this, this, this. These are the things we're trying to kill if we're going to win the game. Our opponent can't kill our Meowth either, which is the other good news here. We're going to go into Meowstic still. Trying to start doing the stuff. Stretcher. It's got to be for 1 target here. This is why we play 3. Don't panic. I'm going to put energy on the Guru. Of course, he can use Psychic if we need him to. We're just going to Perplexing Eyes. Try and set it up for a good old-fashioned Spell Tag Arunio. We're worried about them having any more Guzma switch shenanigans for their Miltank. Looks like they just have Welder though. Our opponent using 3 Guzmas so early is quite good for us because we're going to try and use the spell tags, lean into them as much as we can. We're going to deal with the Arcanine because he's definitely too dangerous to just leave for us. And that's a fantastic prize. Might put us back in good shape here. The good news for us is that Persian has free retreat, so we'll go into that. I think I can happily bench a Glameow and just Cynthia here. Get ourselves a Ditto. We can just knock out the Dedenne this turn if I want to. It means that we have to dump our hand basically, but I don't mind it. I want to get the... It means we can also... So we'll do this. We'll go Espurr, Ditto, spell tag the Espurr, instruct for 2. Retreat our little cat. We can Ear Kinesis here for 140, which is easily enough. And the Zard is going to go to 50. Spell tag will put it to a knockout. And then it's down to us finding... Well, it puts it to 90, which then goes to 180 for an Ear Kinesis for game. So you can see where our last 3 prizes are coming from. It's very weak to this Miltank that we're looking at right now. That's the main issue in our scheme. And they have just been able to pick up a switch here. So they can retreat out of Jirachi, Moo Moo Molt, and then switch into the Zard to heal up. Which is kind of the biggest issue here. We'd then have to go into Glameow and hit him for another 60. That would basically be our only play that we have. But it would be awesome if we could end up beating this Reshizard with Caturday. We ain't memers anymore. Now we're dreaming. Opponent's going to put down a Volk. They are, of course, going to go into the Miltank to get that heal on the Zard. They also have a Welder. So going to put on the bench. So draw 3. They use the switch that they found earlier. And we're putting 60 on the Zard with Glameow already. There's going to be a Shrine ticking over 2 times. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can put 3 elsewhere. So I guess we just put 3 on the active, right? I guess I play around Moo just by putting more... Like, I'll just put it all here, right? Our intention is pretty much known. This is trying to play around Miltank heals. So a Stretcher looks very good here. I'll go Persian double Espurr. I mean, I could even Oranguru it here. I could Oranguru it for a lot of damage. I think that's the play. Really try and play around that Miltank. Now in range of a Glameow boing boing tail for game. 3 switch played, I believe. 3 Guzma played. And even if he is able to get like some Miltank heal, he's definitely going to be in range of an Espurr if we're able to Cynthia into one. So it feels like we might have got there, unless he plays some extra heal. Unless he has the very, 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 very scary Acerola. We might have got over the line here with our cat boys. Our gathering of cats may have finally done it. Like I said, targeted... Oh, they do have 4 Guzma. Okay. They're going to go for the Persian? Yeah. Persian definitely makes the most sense. Because now I need to draw into a Persian and an Espurr. Off of Cynthia, basically. He's out of range of a boing boing. Just a pass. Okay. Well, that is... Okay. Well, that's game then, isn't it? Okay. The cats have gathered for our first win. Phenomenal. I've already done way better than I thought we would. Oh, Rogue Week is going to be fun. It's like Shark Week, but in Pokemon form. Well, we can just sit back and relax now. We've got our 1 win against Reshizard, so what more do you want from this deck? Go out and buy your Caturdays now. Go bulk diving for those Espurs. Jeez Louise, okay. Going second, we definitely want to try and protect the Meowth, so we'll lead out with Espurr here. Put the Meowth on the bench, we can nest in Lillie. Seems pretty good. And we're once again staring down a Jirachi. And we see an Acrobike. Getting rid of a Guzma. Could quite possibly, once again, be a Reshizard. Seeing Jirachi and Acrobike pretty much pushes it in the direction of it being Reshizard. You can see a Nest Ball here. The And there it is. Big, shiny Reshizard. Apparently it's a good matchup for us. Let's see if that can come true again this game. Opponent's able to Heat Factory after their Welder. They've had a pretty good start here. They also have the Arcanine. And instead of getting the free Stellar Wish, they're just going to pass in the active. Picking up a Shrine is nice. We will now Nest Ball. We will go ahead and grab ourselves another Meowth, seeing as though Ditto is in the prizes. And we'll Lillie for 5 cards. We can save this Ultra Ball for next turn. Do I want to Spell Tag? Yeah, I do. Because then I can Ultra Ball for Glameow next turn. Start pinging down this Zard ASAP. I'm going to see Jirachi pick up a switch. See another Welder. Back-to-back Welders feels good, man. Just for one, but they get to draw the 3, of course. See another Acrobike. Don't really know what they're digging for too much. Again, the fear is the Miltank, right? Here comes the big Zard. So it goes, it's already got 20, it's already got 60, 70 with Shrine. So it's actually wasted damage if I just put it here. I have to Glameow him anyway. So 20, 30 from Shrine. So I should just do 1 and then 3 back here. He's going to try and maybe go for the Growlithe like Arcanine. He just always is, so. They're able to pick up their first prize eventually. We can go Meowth. So the Espurr's already doing the 60 that the Glameow could do, so I should just stretch her and Spell Tag it. And we can use Ear Kinesis this turn. Oh wait, the Ear Kinesis is only to bench. Okay, cool, chill. I knew that all along. I've played this deck loads. Let's go ahead and Ultra Ball. Grab our Glameow. Do this stuff. Don't want to Wondrous just yet. We can go ahead and protect the option to use Meowstic, because that's probably what we're going to have to use against the Arcanine. And we're going to boing into the active. So that's ready for an Ear Kinesis until he starts using some Miltank shenanigans. So far only 1 Guzma played. So they have plenty of opportunities to do Miltank switch kind of stuff, or Miltank switch Guzma. Plenty of options for them. Let's see what they're able to come up with. Yep, there's going to be Guzma to kick things off. I'm going to try and take out the Persian by the looks of things. They have Stellar Wish. I'm going to grab Ultra Ball. going to go ahead and pitch a Reshizard and a Dedenne GX. Here's good old Miltank. We know what they're up to before they even do it. We've seen this all before. I'm going to see a Moo begin the healing process. There's a switch. Is it better for me to hit this for 70 with a Meowstic is the question. 70 with Meowstic sounds like the best thing, so I can try and continue to threaten this spell tag as an option. We'll obviously Rescue Stretcher back our Cato, so we can attack full free. I'm just going to sit here. Let's get our backup Meowth. I think I want to put Oranguru down again and put a DC on it. That plan worked last time. You know, good plan. The other alternative there was like Latios or something, but I think we need the card draw anyway. So we're going to go for Perplexing Eyes. Get him back into that range of an Ear Kinesis. If he's on the bench, of course. I should probably play third Guzma. I honestly didn't realize about that Espurr. Now we have to play it super carefully with our Guzmas. See, switch. Not into the Miltank, instead into Stellar Wish. Gonna see them grab Nest Ball here. Possibly they're holding on to a Guzma. Looks like they have more switching. They're going to heal up Zard. See Ultra Ball. Going to grab Let Loose. We don't mind that at all. We are stuck in the mud with our hand currently, so they're going to switch proactively, and they're going to Let Loose. Okay. So there's 6 energy, so we could do. We're threatening 180 with Psychic, which isn't too threatening. Does that mean I need to use Boing Boing again? 6, 7, 8 with Shrine. So again, it has to be 1. We'll put 3 back here again. This is free retreat. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna put the Shrine down. How many Guzmas have we seen? We've seen 2 Guzma and 3 switch so far, so they are starting to run a little bit low. We can nest for another Espurr. We can put down. I don't need to put this down. Should probably just do this. I guess making him have more switching in the hand is important as well, though, right? We're starting to see him get a little bit low, so I think I don't mind going for Kogas here. And getting a draw in there as well. DCE, interesting. Well, I'm going to cash in on it while I can. Definitely going to cash in on this while I can. So So we've got Shrine and Poison ticking over. Let's see if they have themselves another switching out after spending a good amount of them on Miltank. We may be starting to get back into a better spot here. They have another switch. Do they have to spend it on Miltank? No, they've got to go into the Jirachi here. So they are, again, starting to run low on those switching outs. They're going to grab 4 Fire Energies. They can then Stellar Wish with much better odds for whatever they're after, which in this case it's a welder by the looks of things. You can start powering up Arcanine if they want to, or Growlithe, I guess. It is their last welder though. It's their last welder going into the Growlithe. So it's an interesting spot for them. They actually only have 7 cards left in their deck after this Acrobike. So they also got rid of Eevee Snorlax and their other Reshizard. So they must be playing Stretcher, right? Otherwise they're just wrecked. Because I'm like 2 knockouts away. They're going to go into their Zard. And then go for an Outrage here. We can go into our free Retreater. So it's more important for us to knock out the Arcanine, right? Because Grand Flame is his main means of recovering the energy. So if I knock out Arcanine this turn, it's probably the best move I can make with an Ear Kinesis. Let's go for the Lillie then, in that case. Spell Tag seems real good. So let's snipe out the Arcanine, so then they have no more energy acceleration. Our opponent's already gone through, that's only 2 Guzma so far, so they can try and play around the spell tag. Shrine is still ticking over on them. Feels like running out of attackers though. They need to maybe power up the Miltank or something to close the game. We do have Glameow as like a little easy 60 hit point Pokemon to knock out though. Don't really know where their last attacker comes from though. 2 Eevee Snorlax, a Reshizard, Arcanine now in the bin. They need to get themselves a Volcanion. Volcanion, once these 6 energies go and the Welder's gone, like where do they get their damage from? I think a sit-down Splash might be their best attacker left. They're going to skateboard their active. I wonder what shenanigans they have in store now. They're going to retreat Reshizard. An Acrobike to dig a little deeper. There's going to be another Reshizard claimed by the cats, as I still have a cat right here, loving every minute of it. We're going to get hit with Let Loose here. Not super sure what they're digging for here. Maybe trying to disrupt our hand more than anything else. Yeah, they just scoop. Okay. Cats 2-0 versus Reshizard. If you want to have the best Reshizard matchup there is, Cats is the answer. Okay, one more game with this, I guess. I'm scarily impressed by the Caturday deck. People on stream have told me to play this, and I've been like, yeah, sure, I'll build it eventually. But, hey man, this Espurr is pretty broken. Like, the rest of the deck's pretty bad, but the Espurr is actually, like, pretty broken. Even though it only hits the bench, which I learned midway through game 2. Quagums. This sounds like a bad matchup for us. Non-GX matchups never feel that comfortable. I mean, we have Meowstic, which can hit for weakness on some of his stuff. We have Breakthrough, that's probably the thing we've got to go for. Right, I need to figure out what I need to try and do to win this matchup. Do I need to try and set things up for Perplexing Eyes and Spell Tag to get around... Okay, I've got the plan. I'm going to try and Perplexing Eyes and Spell Tag to get around the Batons when we can. That's pretty much the only plan I'm making. So, the first part of the plan is always get down a Meowth, of course. Then we're going to get down a Nestorunio, Ballarunio for this guy. We need to bench this, Spell Tag. And to be honest, if I want to use any attack next turn, I probably need to hold this hand. Because I need to Guzma next turn, otherwise I'm just using Boing Boing. Oh, I guess I could Guzma this turn, right? Could Guzma into Espurr? Yeah, into Meowth actually is probably strongest. Or safest, I guess. I can draw for one. Mew I will put down straight away because I don't want to get wrecked by a whale. So we'll just pass. Ultra Running away Wondrous Labyrinth isn't great, but it's not like a huge deal. I could always like play it next turn and then just Ultra Ball what we instruct into, but I think I'd rather Ultra Ball then instruct. I think that sounds stronger to me. Opponent plays Choice Band as well as Baton, which is good news for us. They also have to Ultra Ball here. Do they just have their own Oranguru? Yeah, we're both living off Instruct draws. You have a good deck. They have Acrobike. Gets rid of one stadium. Pokégear. And they got themselves a Cynthia, so they're going to be rolling now. The fresh hand. They can attach their active. It's Cynthia. Patch coming into the bench. Yeah, so we have to try and Spell Tag. That's the main like win condition I'm seeing. Stretch is a bad draw. A couple bad draws to be honest, but we got to do this. We certainly prefer facing GX decks to to non-GX decks though. That's for certain. We'll instruct. We at least get ourselves an energy, so I could Psi Power here. Or I could try and set up a Oranguru for next turn. I think Psi Power is not doing enough, really, is it? I mean, it's going to help the Spell Tag shenanigans a little. But how wrecked am I if he Guzmas my Guru? If I attach the Guru, it incentivizes him to Guzma it. That's the only problem. It's not likely that he has Guzma. They normally play like one or none. I'm always benching this while we discuss what I'm doing here. Is it better for me just to Caturday for a card? I think attaching Caturday for a card is the best thing I can do here. Okay. There you go, Quag active, Quag bench, attach, wash out. They got the goods. See a Pokégear, get some nothing. Maybe just to instruct. Yeah, they're just going to do it before Cynthia. Works for me. They're basically just looking for naggers and energies to bin at this point. There's a Volk. Ultra Ball does indeed bin an energy and the Fighting Quag. They get themselves Naga down. They can charge up that Ultra Ball energy away and they can just Hydro Pump here. Oh, one more Instruct card. And they're going to go for the knockout. We'll go back into our pivot. Bailed out by a Lillie, potentially. Or we'll draw these cards and not be bailed out. We'll just draw another card then. Another Lillie, by the way. Okay, we're seeing the meme side of this deck at this point. We can all stop sleeving our Espurs now, guys. We're seeing this deck for what it truly is. Oh, they went for the Mew. Interesting. They've seen one stretcher go. I guess it's real hard for us to kill this as well, right? Let's go over here. There's an Ultra Ball, my goodness. We can go for one of our two Meowstics. Meowstic definitely important in non-GX matchups, but not like super relevant in GX matchups, so that's why we only played two, but maybe it's a little bit punishing at times. Do this, grab another cat. Gather them all up. Do this. And we'll get our first bit of damage in here. Hit him for 70. He's now weak to Psychic as well. Which I guess is something. It's not a big deal, but if he doesn't move, we can knock him out with our next Meowstic without needing to commit spell tag damage. You can see a Rescue Stretcher, getting back more Quags, doing the usual stuff. Lillie's going to get them 4 cards. Jet Geyser can play around our spell tag. We'll give them a Meowth here. And I'm going to see the Sauna Blast. We can gear. I think I do want a Cynthia here. Like, I could Guzma up Naga and be less worried about a whale turn. But I think this Jet Geyser is actually a pain for our spell tags, when they are pretty important to our strat. Let's go into our cat. And we're just Perplexing Eyes. And take the first prize of the game. Our opponent's already taken 3. And we have no setup damage outside of these sneaky spell tags, but that's really it. So catching up is going to be difficult, I think, is the best way to put it. Let's just put it down as difficult for now, shall we? We are certainly a deck that likes taking on tag team matchups and not non-GX matchups. So he's gearing up for the big whale turn. So the idea is that we put 3 here and not 4. And then we'll just put 1 here, I guess. I could have put all 4 here. What am I talking about? I would only hit him for 110 with the perplexing eyes anyway. So let's get back our cats. I sequenced this terribly. Pay no attention to me. We need this so I don't just get whaled out of the game next turn. Let's attach here. Let's draw 1. Fail this miserably. I'm going to go for perplexing eyes, which is a tongue twister. Our opponents are able to develop their next Wooper, which is pretty much like the only way I could conceivably win. Played 2 Aqua Patch, 3 Aqua Patch so far. Okay. So we magnificently play around a spell tag like a genius, absolute genius plays. Let's do that. Joe, you're an absolute genius. We took a prize card. Just 4 to go to his 1. Our deck's not known for tanking, I'll be honest. Well then, what do we do in this spot? When you're in a spot like this, what do, boys? Get your Lagoon Flight ready to go. You get back a bunch of cats and you say, instruct, save me. That's what we do. Koga's Trap doesn't change anything. So yeah, we're toasting crumpets. We can take another Valiant knockout, but that is where the cats come to an end. Turns out our bad matchup is Quagsire. So adding in more stuff for non-GX matchups. I'm just trying to think how we could improve our non-GX matchups without like warping the deck too much. So that's one of the strengths of the Weezing being not like the strength of Meowstic against tag teams is that you're targeted spread. So you're much more like aggressive at your win condition compared to Weezing, which is like more progressive turn by turn. But it really does show as a weakness against the non-GX decks. So I don't know, that's the sort of the trade-off you're making. Trying to make the full use out of Espurr when you see GXs, but then when you see the non-GX stuff, we're pretty weak. I mean, trying to use like early breakthroughs and spell tags is like the only thing I can really see here. The Koga's Trap didn't do all that much. I would probably just play an extra Guzma, to be honest. I was trying to add like extra meme potential to the deck, in all honesty, but that's what this week's all about, experimenting with some of the wacky stuff. Got a couple cool wins there, which is at least something. So, hope you enjoyed, guys, and that's it for today. Again, comment down below for your next meme deck for tomorrow. I will be looking at them and taking inspiration from those picks. So if you see anyone else saying something in the comments that you like as well, you can just like their one rather than commenting the same thing. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.